10 spiritual teachings that will change your life forever. There's a lot of noise out there about spirituality, more practices, more techniques, more things to fix about yourself. But real spiritual work is actually very simple. It's about removing what's in the way. These 10 teachings are ancient. They're not about becoming someone new. They're about remembering something you already know. Nothing is personal. One of the biggest sources of suffering in our lives is believing that what people do is about us. The tone of a message, someone pulling away, someone reacting strongly. We take it all in and make it mean something about who we are. But most of the time, it has nothing to do with you. People act from their own conditioning, their history, their wounds, their fears, their unmet needs. When you stop taking life personally, you don't become cold or detached. You actually become freer. You stop carrying weight that was never even yours to hold. From that place, you can respond instead of react. Compassion becomes possible without self-sacrifice. Zen says, if you understand this, you will be unmoved by praise or blame. Awareness heals what attention cannot. Most of us try to heal by fixing ourselves, fixing habits, fixing thoughts, fixing what we think is broken. But awareness works differently. Awareness doesn't try to change anything. It doesn't force. It doesn't argue. It simply sees. And what is fully seen no longer needs to express itself through anxiety, tension, or pain. Awareness is like sunlight. It doesn't fight the darkness. It dissolves it. When you bring honest awareness to your inner world, things begin to shift naturally. Zen says, what is brought into the light loses its power. The body never lies. The body is honest in a way the mind often isn't. Your posture, your breath, your energy, your pain, these are all forms of communication. The body knows when something in your life is out of alignment, long before the mind is willing to admit it. Illness, tension are not punishments, they're actually messages. Healing begins when you stop overriding the body and start listening to it as an intelligent system. Vedic wisdom calls the body the first scripture. Resistance is the root of suffering. Pain is a part of being human. Loss, uncertainty, discomfort, and change are unavoidable. Suffering comes when we resist what already is happening, when we argue with reality itself. Acceptance doesn't mean liking what's happening. It means stopping the inner fight. And the moment resistance softens, something in the system relaxes. Energy frees and clarity returns. Often the thing you were fighting begins to change once you stop fighting it. Zen says, let go or be dragged. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts arise and they pass. They comment, they judge, they predict, they narrate. But they are not who you are. You are the awareness that notices them. When you believe every thought, life feels heavy and exhausting. When you observe thoughts instead of identifying with them, this space suddenly opens. Peace isn't the absence of thought. It's the absence of attachment to thought. The Vedic inquiry says, neti neti, not this, not that. Stillness is more powerful than action. We live in a culture obsessed with doing, more effort, more hustle, more fixing. But the most intelligent action comes from stillness. Stillness isn't laziness, it's listening. When you slow down enough to feel what's actually happening, the right action arises naturally. From that place, movement is precise, aligned. instead of forced. The Tao says, the Tao does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. What you avoid doesn't disappear, it goes underground. Unfelt emotions show up as tension, anxiety, illness, or reactivity. The parts of yourself you push away end up running your life from the shadows. When you turn towards what you've been avoiding, with presence and compassion, it loses all of its grips. Healing isn't getting rid of parts of yourself, it's bringing them back into awareness. The Sufis say, the wound is the place where the light enters you. Healing is remembering, not becoming. We're often told we need to become better versions of ourselves. More healed, more confident, more spiritual. But healing isn't about adding something new. It's about removing what isn't true. Hey, that rhymes. Conditioning, coping strategies, protective patterns. Underneath all of that, you are already whole. Healing is remembering who you were before you learned to disconnect from yourself. The Tao says, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. Love is a state, not a transaction. Love isn't something you get from others. That's attachment. Love is a state of being. When the heart is open, love flows naturally. When it's closed, no amount of validation will ever be enough. Real love begins when you stop using relationships to fill a void and start relating from fullness. A Sufi teacher said, why are you busy with the shape of the cup? Drink the wine. Life is the practice. There is no separate spiritual path. There's no finish line, no final arrival. Your relationships, your work, your challenges, your body, your breath is the practice. Awakening doesn't remove you from life. It brings you deeper into it. Every moment is an invitation to be present, to be alive. Zen says, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So none of these are anything new. These are ancient truths. The work isn't learning them, the work is actually living them. If this landed for you, sit with it. Let it move through your life. That's where the real transformation happens. If you enjoyed this video in the format that I presented it in, drop me a follow or a like and I will continue making these. Sending you so much love from my heart to your heart. Simba G.